Back to work, man. I feel like working, man. I feel like working. Might be two-sided today, man. Might drop this video and going on to the next one. Got a lot of stuff on my mind, man. It's a lot of things that need to be discussed. We don't have as much time, man. We got to get to work. We got to get to work. And while we're getting to work, we understanding that we got to do things. And we got to understand things. Well, look out here. How beautiful this is today, man. You never think hurricane that came through and tore up this city like this. God give you these beautiful days, man. Get outside and try to work a muscle real quick. Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. We're talking about fear of God. So I have a friend. He always tell me, man, what does fear of God mean? What fear of God mean? What does fear of God mean? Okay. And so I ain't necessarily know how to explain it to him years ago. I ain't know how to explain what the fear of God looks like. What the fear of God, like what it feels like coming from a man. Like if you see something and you see it and it's visibly scary or terrible, just know that God is way more scary and terrible than that. Like that thing might seem terrible, but what if the earth opened up and that thing fell? That thing will be scared too. Everything be like, whoa, no, I didn't expect to die. Everything thought it was big and bad until it came up against God. Because God is everything. God is the omnipresent. Omnipresent. That means I'm everywhere and I'm nowhere at the same time. I can see everything and I can see nothing at the same time. I can see everything. Everything, all knowing. I can see everything. The devil got to set up cameras all over the place. They got to set up little camps. They got to set up traps. The devil got to use all God's technology because everything starts for God. God is the creator of everything because God produced the materials. God produced the minds. God produced the pencils. Everything these people use. So they can say that they gods, but what if a hurricane come through? Rich people and poor people didn't have power at the same time. Like imagine, one person was eating good, had supply provisions for almost 6-7 months. And now the lights done been out for 8 days. And all that food done went bad because you didn't get a generator. And now your freezers don't work. And now you got to throw out all that meat and all the provisions you done saved up. The fear of God teaches you that you are in control of most of the things that you are faced with. For 18 years, somebody got to mold you. But remember, some of these people might not be good stewards. Your mama and daddy might not be the best. God is saying, make best do with what you have. Some people don't have parents. They might have grown up in a foster home. They might have grown up on the streets. You have to learn how to take care of yourself. You cannot leave it to someone else. You have to learn how to do these things yourself. This is what having the fear of God is. If you don't learn, then people will take advantage of you. Because you said, okay, I'm gonna learn how to read. I'm gonna learn how to, like right now, I'm trying to learn how to get my finances in order because I've learned that looking back at my family tree, all these people that had financial problems. And I identified what generations it happened in. I identified why it happened. I had a whole bunch of grandfathers that died in their 30s and 40s. And it was tragic to the families. Tragic. And so God instilled in me to go back and look at my history and see what I was doing that my grandfathers might have been doing that might have led to their demise. Poor eating because most of them had heart problems. Sexual addiction issues, drug addiction issues, drinking addiction. All of these things. that I have to now conquer because these were their demons. Not starting their own businesses, relying on other people the business, and the people end up stealing their money. So God instills into you everything that you need to now go out and be successful. God said, okay, I've given you salvation. I've given you your past. I've letting you see how your past might have affected your future, but now you have everything, and now your future's supposed to be bright. And the fear of God comes when you sit at the end and you got to take an account, and God was like, okay, I said that one day that you was going to become a pilot, that you had it in you. And you were sitting there and you had the time to go do it, and you still didn't go apply for that opportunity. I gave you that opportunity for a reason. What's going on, people? What's going on? We cooking today. We cooking today. We talking about the fear of God. And then you get there to the end of your life. Most old people, when my grandmother got really, really old and I was taking care of her at the end of her life, and I said, what do you regret most? She said that I didn't do more with my talent. Like my grandmother could really, really bake. Man, when you get down to the end and you got to now take account for all the stuff that you did not do to set your kids up with inheritance, man, it could be getting sketchy at the end for a lot of these people. They have a lot of repentance. When you get old, you start having a repentance. But when you young, you be arrogant. You be like, man, I got time. And it's not like that. It don't work like that. Like I tell these young men, now that I'm 44, I can tell these young men something. Your body at 44 is not gonna feel the same as it feels at 20. You're gonna feel invincible at 20. You better work at some good skills at 20. You better learn how to like do some outside farming skills at this age. The fear of God. Let's say a famine is coming and God has put it into your heart. You was reading your Bible and you heard that a famine was coming. And you said, well, I ain't gonna learn how to farm. I'm gonna just keep going to the grocery store till shit hits the fan. Well, guess what? The fear of God is that you are not prepared when the time comes and you need you to stockpile your provisions. You was like the ant in Proverbs. You was like the ant. When God say, man, the ant don't care if it's summer or winter. They stocking up provisions. Were you like that? Were you gaining wisdom to learn how to get these things? This is the fear of God, not being prepared when the time comes. That's the fear of God. That's the people who they don't prepare properly and then things go wrong. Like imagine, it's two people that laid down to have sex, and then they done had a baby. And then the man get up and get on about his business because these people did not prepare for the baby, but the baby gonna come. And a lot of these babies that came, and a lot of these people that didn't make any promises that ran off. And now the fear of God is now that you gonna have to do this work. Because if you don't do this work, nobody's gonna fight for this child like you. What I learned about having children is when you send your kids into these school systems, you they advocate. You gotta fight for them. And the fear is if you don't fight for them, they won't grow. They won't grow. They'll get bullied in school, and you ain't on these people like, hey man, look at here, he done something again. You gotta fight, you gotta advocate for these children. But the fear of God is, if I don't fight for them, what will happen to my child? In the Bible, God says, man, you don't wanna meet me. If you meet me, you at the end. You meet me, you at the end. You ain't finished your goals if you done met me. That's what God say in the Bible. If you met me, I'm not the person you want to meet. Why do you want to meet God? I'm still with you. You down there, you detached from me, but I'm still with you. But you don't want to meet me. That's the fear. Like if a man step on another man's shoes, and let's just say your tone of voice, when that man say, man, you done stepped on that man's shoes, and you say, man, I don't give a damn about your shoes, and that man shoot you because of your mouth. Because you couldn't humble yourself in the moment, knowing that you was wrong, and say, hey man, I apologize. Can I buy you a drink? Man, I apologize. Some people will let you slide, man. Like, we got to think about our life here, man. I remember I was having this house party, and I used to have a tent outside where people could smoke their cigars and stuff like that. Just cool, little laid back vibe. But it'd be a lot of great conversations because we talking about, older people. It'd be a good conversation going. And somebody was talking about being pulled over by the cops. And they said, man, I ain't gonna do this, and I ain't showing them my ID, and I ain't doing this, and I ain't doing that. And I'm like, hold on, let me intervene on this conversation and exceed some wisdom into it. Let's say you do what you do, and the cop end up pulling you out the car and shooting you, and they prove that the officer was right. And they got a sign, and they got a picture for you outside on the side of a building. Because the people was like, oh, we got to remember so-and-so's name. And I said, okay, let's say same situation. And you are the diffuser. I don't care what this officer say. My job is to get home, because the fear of God is that if I do not comply to this man's demands, and sometimes even if I do, it's just not gonna go right. But let me put myself in the best position to get home to my wife and my children, because my fear of God is that I will not go home to my wife and children. I will not go home to my mom. So that's why we gotta build these children up with the spirit, so when they pulled over by the police officer, they're not scared. The police officer reacts to fear. He think it's fear because you got something in the car. No, it's because you're scared. All they done told you is that the officer is going to kill you, so you have a fear. The fear is not of God, it's of man. But if you have a fear of God, God say, look, pay attention to me, stay calm. Pull out your wallet, put it on the dashboard. Get in preparation for the stop. We have to get in preparation. You gotta have your fear of God is preparation. Your fear of God is not running and hiding. That fear, man, look here. I did a video about my homegirl. She had a guy, man. She had a boyfriend, and we had just seen him at homecoming last October. We seen him. I shook his hand and gave her a hug. And a couple months ago, that man killed my friend. And every time she spoke to my wife, she was like, I need to leave him. This relationship ain't, man, I'm talking about this. My wife went back to a message from 3 years ago where she was saying, man, maybe I need to leave this man. Maybe I need to get on by my business. And she stayed too long. Break it off. She should have broke it off in the beginning, but she stayed so long that this man grew up an anger that she was about to leave, and he killed her. We talking about life and death business. But when you have a fear of God, you say, man, something don't seem right. We done broke up this many times for a reason. It's time to leave. Everything in your intuition say, leave, go, go, go. And you stay because you fear the man. You fear this man, but you didn't get in preparation to leave. You got to get in preparation to leave somebody that's abusive. You can't just get up and, okay, this is the day, and we prepared today. You ain't got the kids' clothes packed. You ain't got nothing folded. You ain't learned how to pack stuff efficiently. You ain't got prepared. You got to prepare. We call this the armor of God, boy. Armor of God is when you prepare, because you don't have no fear of man. Your fear is of man. If I meet God, I'm dead. If I meet God, I'm dead. I done checked out the game. And God gonna walk you back through your life again, because I believe in reincarnation. You're gonna come back and do this thing again. If you committed suicide, you're gonna do it again, but worse conditions. You don't get out of this game. That's the fear of God, that I got to keep doing this game over and over and over. I know a lot of you got deja vu. Y'all like the Matrix. Y'all keep seeing the black cat that run through the street at the same time. You keep seeing the same crackhead man that wave to you at the same time, and you ain't picked it up yet. That your life is still the same as it was last week, the same as it was last year, the same as it was 30 years ago, and you're not happy about it, but you choose to stay the same. I told y'all a story about my father not learning how to read. My father was a brilliant man, but my father did not know how to fill out contracts. He didn't learn how to do this stuff because he didn't learn how to read. And my father right now, like he done had a stroke, man, and now he don't have access to his right side like he did as a young man. And now he's having to try to figure it out in his older age. I'm gonna do an interview with my father, man. It's gonna be really dope. But I want y'all to hear it from his mouth, like how he feel about it. But that's what I'm saying. Now he has a healthy fear of God. That if I'm not taking care of my health, if I'm stressed out, man, God gonna take me up out of here. So he had to look around and look at all the things that was stressing him out. He had to get his life back together, or he's gonna be gone. Now he has a healthy fear of God. Man, if I don't take care of if I meet God, I'm dead. People hate when I talk like this. People hate when I talk like this. But man, you be looking outside. It's people that's dying from DWI accidents because you didn't have enough body and self-control to stop drinking at the right time. So you can get people home, or so you can get yourself home, or so you didn't hit somebody and kill a whole doggone family, and you the only one that live. Right after them accidents, I'm sure them people that live be like, oh my God, what have I done? Now it's, oh my God. Not, oh my God, I should have stopped drinking. Oh my God, I done killed somebody. Now he has a healthy fear of God. From now, you got to deal with God's people. Whatever capacity they deal with you, now you got to deal with them. And then you know fear, like the fear of God. When God put all his people on you, like that man in New York that cut up that girl body. Cut up, like a lot of women do not be having awareness. I remember me and my wife was walking to the store. Man, I'm talking about it's 11 o'clock at night. Went to the military. I didn't grew up in the hood. I have severe trust issues about neighborhoods. And I'm just scoping the scene. I'm like, my wife, I'm in La La Land. And she was like, she talking, and I'm scoping the scene. I'm looking out for our safety and protection. And she was like, you're not listening to me. I said, look here. It's a man over there down at the corner. I don't know what he doing. I said, his car right here coming. I know how far they are, and I know if they're on some hoe shit, I'm either gonna have to give them the money or something. So I'm paying attention to that. I said, it's another car right behind us. I said, you ain't know none of this because you wasn't paying attention. Women, when you by yourself, pay attention. Like, oh, it ain't no such thing as somebody done dropped a $100 bill no more. They lacing that fentanyl, that $100 bill with fentanyl, and they waiting for you to touch it. It's a different time we got going on. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing that just seemed like, oh man, this is too good to be true. It's really gonna be too good to be true. And ain't nobody gonna know what happened to you. They be like, man, she just died suddenly. I don't know what the hell happened. She just tweaked out one day. Because people not paying attention, no healthy fear of God. Let me tell y'all about sex. And let me tell y'all from the point of somebody who was a sex addict. I done wrote a whole book. I done did my whole Facebook page. Apache Goodo. I done talked about my sex addiction from the rooter all the way to the tutor. And when I tell people, when you go out and you have sex with somebody and it's raw, man, you don't care for your life, man. There's people out here carrying diseases. There's people out here being unfair and untrue. And they be out here lying. Man, don't trust your life with these people. No way. People getting fake AIDS results online to make sure that they say that they positive and shit. Nope. Let's go sit in this doctor's office. Yep. Do got trust issues. Yep. You ain't for to trick me out of nothing. Yep. Like, man, you got to be careful with your body, man. Man, I was looking at this video, man. These women that went on vacation that had sex with a man, and that man ain't put on no condom, and she come back with a disease and they gave it to her husband. And I'm sure it's a lot of husbands down the way that went home and gave a partner a disease. Man, that's the worst. Now you got a healthy fear of God. Like, oh my God, I could get a disease. Like, I had a fear of death. I had a healthy fear of death when my mama and my sister died. Boy, I'm talking about when death next to you. You be thinking everything that you do, you finna die. So I got a fear of death. I put death in place of God. And like, man, I used to think, oh man, if I eat this, I'm gonna get cancer. Because my mom and my sister died from cancer. My grandmother also had cancer, but she lived. So I'm thinking, I'm gonna get cancer. So I got a healthy fear of death. Death was just, it was so much, cousins dying, uncles dying, people just dying right next to me. And so, fear of death, thinking I was gonna die. And that fear, boy, I'm telling you, if you don't get out of that fear of death, you'll be stuck there. Stuck, holding on. So if you believe in God, man, you believe, man, I don't got to worry about when my time is up. I got to worry about the mission at hand. I got to get about God's business. I can't worry about dying. If I'm worried about living, I can't worry about dying. That's my fear of God, that I would die and not accomplish what I've been set out to accomplish. To set my family up to back to where it's supposed to be, of prominence. That's my dream. When I told my wife, I said, my dream is to set my family back up to its rightful place. I'm around great people. But through circumstances, they lost their way. Lost a lot of grandfathers early. So that's why I be out here walking. I have to live. I have to live. Men carry the stress of the world. Men be carrying a different type of stress. Like I tell my wife, I say, you worry about yourself and them kids. I say, my job is to worry about everybody, every day, every second of the day. My job is to worry about y'all well-being every day. If my job fails, it falls on you. And that's out of the plan that we had for ourselves. So I got to get out here and I got to take care of myself physically so I can be here, man. I got a baby that's going to be here in 2 months. If I don't take care of my health, man, you ain't got no fear of God, man. You just out here eating crazy all fucking day. And guess what? Your cholesterol clog up your arteries and you pass out and you have a heart attack. Well, guess what? People that survive those heart attacks have a healthy fear of God, or should. And if you don't, most of these people end up meeting God a lot earlier than they're supposed to if they'd have stopped and changed their ways of eating, change their ways of doing business. Like, I know man, look here, black people. I'm telling you, God let me see. I see pain in people's eyes. I be seeing it. You can't hide no pain in the eyes. I can see it. And so I be looking at some of these people, man, I be like, man, what's going on with you? You see, it's a fear, man. I remember I had a friend, man. He was at work, man, and I was stopping to get something to eat. And he was like, man, I see what you're doing, man. Like, all the stuff you're doing, man. You writing your book, man. He was like, man, I want to do stuff. I say, what's holding you back? When I hear somebody want to do something, I'll be like, what you want to do? Shit, if you want it, tell me what you want to do. I'm going to try to put you in that position. And I give them an opportunity to see if they want to make a decision to do that own thing that they worked out on. It ain't going to go over with your wife, especially if she done got used to your cushy job. You're going to have to find out who she is. You're going to have to be tested too. You're going to have to see if she's going to stay with you to the best or the worst of times. It's time to find out. It's good to see if your man going to be faithful for you and work it out for the family. It'd be good to find out now. Like, when you building a plan for your life, like most people, they be like, man, I can't afford to start my own business. I say, okay. I'm not telling you to quit your job immediately. I'm saying when you get off work, them little hours of time that you don't like be watching Netflix, you be scrolling on your phone. I said, what are you doing in those hours? Can you go to the community college and in those hours take a class, a couple classes? Can we do something like that? Can we do school part-time to learn a new skill? What we doing with that off time? What we doing with this free time here? If you had a healthy fear of God, you know that you probably died today and you didn't even make a step towards trying to change. That's a healthy fear. That you be like, oh my God, dog. And then God show you back the rest of your life. Be like, okay, see, I told you. When that person suggested that you should have went to school and you sat there and got mad, oh, okay. Oh, when you should have joined that martial arts class, you should have joined that boxing class. When you should have started that farm. Oh, and you sitting back. Damn, I should have. Man, I used to listen to my uncle, man. He about 65 when he died. And man, look here, at the end, boy, he used to cry every day. Healthy man. He used to cry about all the opportunities that he blew in his life by stealing. He used to steal, like the situation be going well, and he'll start stealing. And I'd be like, why did you do that? He was like, man, I don't know. He don't know that he was carrying the spirit his goddamn father left with. They say his father used to be old stealing ass nigga. So bam, you a stealing ass nigga too. And that's the end of your, now you at the end of your life and you like, damn dog, I done finally found out at 65, I've been living like my father this whole time. That man used to break down. Boy, I'm telling you, watching a man cry ain't nothing like it. If you done seen a man that's like hopeless and watched him cry, it ain't nothing like it. You gonna cry. It ain't nothing you can do. You just gonna be like, woo, I gotta get up out of here. That's what I had to watch. Until I got a point of strength and I was like, hey bro, tears ain't gonna work it out. We gonna have to get up and start doing something. Because if you're not thinking about nothing, all you thinking about is the failure. You're not learning the lessons from the failure. It's not over. Like I be trying to, man, hey man, God damn it, man, wake up. You gotta have a healthy fear of God, dog, to say, God damn it, it's not over. I don't give a damn. I used to be this person. I repent of that. I don't wanna do that shit no more. I'm finna do this. Man, go talk to the people that knew me 6, 7 years ago. Boy, go talk to them. Totally different person. I'm not even doing none of that no more. When my wife met me, I was dealing with 8 or 9 different women at the same time. And I was having sex with all of them. And they was happy with their slots and times. And one day I woke up, I said, man, I don't do this shit no more. I felt so empty, dog. I felt so empty. It was nothing there, bro. I'm having sex, these women, I'm not even, they just like, imagine like the sex is like a little spark, like you lighting a lighter, but it don't stay lit. That's what it was like. And for those who smoke, you couldn't even light your blunt good. The damn lighter then went out. That's what sex was like. It felt good in the moment, but right after I'd be like, man, why am I doing this? Why is this woman in my bed, she talking to me and after the sex, I don't even want to hear her no more. Why is this woman even talking to me? And so when I talk about sex addiction, I don't talk about like, well, I done overcame so much. Ooh, so much. I tell you about how low it was. And I got a healthy fear of God that if I go back to doing that shit again, I'm gonna be empty again. When God is filling me up on this side, man, you asked for a wife, I gave you a wife. You said you wanted a family, I gave you a family too. Now you finna have your own one. You said you want your own business, I gave you that too. You said you wanted something for your wife, she got her own business too. I don't have no fear of God, man. What's for me is what's for me. I don't even wake up thinking about nobody else playing. Me and my household, I get up and I say, man, look here, what can I do for them? That's my fear of God is that if I disrespect what God has given me, I don't get to increase. I don't get to increase to where I really need to be. That's my fear of God. Like, man, if I can't set my family right and I get to the end, and I'm like at 65 and I'm like, I ain't even set my sons up for success. I ain't set my daughters up for success. That would break my spirit. Or if I died early because I'm out arguing with a fool and they shoot me in the damn face, or somebody cut me off in traffic and I try to follow them home. You ain't got no fear of death that person can kill you? Man, you better wake up. We in a different time out here. People killing for nothing. You better apologize. My job is to get home at night to my family. Not be sitting out here dead because a fool mad. Because I ain't get his order right. What you need, brother? Can I give you something extra? I'm trying to rectify the problem. I don't want to die over no bad order. I'm sorry, I apologize. Let me get that order for you. I don't care if they even mean to me. My job is not to be mean back to you. My job is to serve you. You're going to have to get up out of that clap back. It's not going to work well in the future. You better have a healthy fear of God when you talking to some of these people. Some of these people done lost their marbles. And it's going to be one thing one day that you say, and it's going to be like, oh, it's a lot of women that they be talking real big. My mama used to be one of them people, used to talk to people real crazy. And guess what? My mama met a man that was crazier than her. And when she talked crazy to him, he started punching her ass in the face. That was my mama. I used to watch my mama talk crazy to people. My mama used to have some hands. My mama was working over men and women. But she found somebody bigger and badder than her. And then after that, she got a healthy fear of God. She stopped talking crazy to men. Because she realized if they punch me in the face, it's going to hurt real bad. That man wrapped a chain around his head and punched my mama in the face. And then they get to a point where you ain't got to say nothing. He's just mad from a day at work. And sometimes it's just because you stayed. He's just mad because I don't even know why you here. He always think you cheating on him because you're not even supposed to be with him. You got to have a healthy fear of God when you date out here, women. Because a man, he can overpower you. And you got to have the fear of God that, man, if I choose the wrong man for me or my children, this man could take us all up out of here. Fear of God, man. That some of these people down here that went left and right in the head, these people doing the goddamn nay-nay. Whatever the nay-nay is, they out there doing the nay-nay. They whipping and shit. That's what they doing in their mind. These people lost it. And just because they got tattoos and they got a nice looking face, y'all out there worshiping these people. When really they have bad characters. Yeah, but like it ain't no good men out here. Nope. Not for the standards that you want. They not over there. And then men can be like, man, I wouldn't do that. You be like, nope, I know everything. I dated one guy one time, and he told me everything, and I believed it. And now this guy's gonna tell me everything, and I'm gonna believe it too. Women believe things way faster than men. Trust me on that. Men are definitely rational. Me and a woman was having a conversation. She said, I ain't putting up with no man. And she was like, I don't understand this and I don't understand. I said, okay. When you dating a man, do you pay for dates? She was like, no. I said, okay, you would stop talking to most of these men you talk to if you had to pay for the dates. Most of you would not sit on these dates with these men that you be talking to if you had to pay for everything. That's what men have to consider when they sit down talking to you. Okay, do I want to keep paying for this? This woman, man, I used to go on dates with some women. These women that have nothing to talk about. I'm talking about, dude, if we talking about healthcare products and shit and beauty shit, talk all day. Anything else, nothing there. And we be sitting on the date looking at one another. Because I got way more stuff than that, so I don't care about no vanity stuff. You're not going to kid me with a vanity trap. I don't care how pretty you are. How pretty are you on the inside? I don't give a damn. This face will fool you. What you got going on in there? How your mama done treated you growing up? How your daddy done treated you growing up? How did that make you feel? I be trying to get, man, I got in my wife's head, God damn it. I need to see who I'm marrying. How are you reacting to how your mom and dad treated you growing up? Oh, your mom never apologized? Oh, are you a person that does not apologize? I'm going to put you to the test because you're going to have to apologize to me because you probably going to think that you can talk to me like everybody else. But I'm going to stop you in your tracks. Man, your partner got to have a fear of God that you could, man, if I talk crazy to you, this person, man, my wife, no. Don't talk crazy to me. I'm not finna yell back with you. I'm not finna do none of that shit. I'm gonna get right up out your face. You gonna respect me because I respect you. That's why you gonna do it. Because I respect you. I show you respect, so you have to show me respect. And if you do not show me respect, you do not respect me. That's how I live. I don't live no other way. So when I be seeing men, wives and girlfriends disrespect them out in public and private, I be like, ooh, woo. I wouldn't even be mean to her. I'd be like, and the next day I pack up my shit and leave. Man, I'm not staying with nobody that talk to me. Well, you need to stay. I don't have to stay and do a mother thing ever in life. And because you got to teach people that you can't control nobody in no relationship. They ready to go, let them burn. You can't hold on to nobody. My fear of God says that if I kill this person, I don't get to find the person that I need to find. Imagine I had a girlfriend a long time ago when I thought I knew love. And I held on to, well, oh man, why you leaving me? And I killed her. And then I don't get to find the wife that I found when I was 39 years old. But when you don't have a fear of God, you say, this woman is it. If I can't have her, I can't have anybody. And then you kill yourself. And you kill the girl too. And you kill all the kids. You like, I'm taking everybody with me. Because you don't have a fear of God. That what you just did, God gonna show you all of this back in your afterlife. God gonna show all this back to you. See where you went wrong? See, when your daddy started beating on you and it really did something to you? Okay, let me carry along. And God starts showing you where exactly you went wrong. When really you should have did this on earth. You should have looked back at your treatment by adults and say, okay, how did these people treat me? How did I feel my treatment was? Let me go ask them about their point of view on the treatment. I ain't telling you to judge me. I need you to tell me so I can fix myself. Like I'm not, when I went back and talked to my dad, I didn't get mad at him for what he did. Man, he was a fucking teen. I can't control that. But what I am in control of is the information given to me that I can fix myself with. Because the fear of God is that if I do not implement this information, in my 60s, I'm gonna have a stroke just like my dad, or maybe sooner. I have a healthy fear of God that if I do not do right, I'm gonna have a stroke and I'm gonna be just like my dad. If I do not eat right, if I do not know how to feed myself and feed myself healthy things, that I'm gonna leave this earth. And that's in my bloodline. And God told me, like, hey man, your people get up out of here early because of heart disease. And the heart, you're gonna have to learn how to eat right, bro. Can't eat out every day. Can't eat them cheeseburgers every day. You're gonna check out, just like all your grandfathers, all your uncles. Heart disease. Get on up out of here. Heart disease and stress, double time up out of here. You better have a healthy fear of God about your health. If you love your kids, get about your health. Get about your health, man. Because what people find out when they get out about their health and they start looking the way that they want to look, when they start looking the way, they be like, they start looking in that mirror, and that mirror start getting wilder, and you start wanting to show your body, and you don't have to use angles no more. You just look good because you ain't tricking nobody. You showing I worked on this. Well, you gonna feel good about yourself. It's a different type of accomplishment. It's a different type. I'm telling you, when I got married, I was 286 pounds. Almost clocking at 300. Totally unhappy. Got moves, everything. Out of shape. Not believing in myself. I done lost all of these people. I'm just like a shell of myself. And what my wife did is, my wife came and scraped up all them pieces And she was like, man, you don't love yourself? Why you don't love yourself? Why don't you do this? And why don't you? And I had to help her. I learned how to love myself through my wife. It's crazy. My wife introduced me to Jesus. Her family introduced me back to Jesus, man. You never know. But if I'm out there having sex with all these other women, worshiping what they doing, because let's just say you start messing with a woman outside your house and she goes to strip clubs and she shows you some nasty stuff in the strip club. You start worshiping that shit. You be like, I gotta go to strip clubs. Gotta go. That's where the healthy, productive women are at the strip club, because they know all this sexual stuff. And you get addicted to that. You get addicted to everything about the strip club, the food, the women, the camaraderie, talking to the women, paying the money for the attention. You get addicted to that. And don't get me to talking about porn. I lose a lot of people with porn. Like, all right, you don't think it's doing nothing? Took the intimacy right out your relationship. You ain't start doing shit that came from y'all mind. Y'all don't do things that are creative of y'all two mind. Y'all y'all watching a man have sex with a woman. And then men get really addicted to porn. And they start getting addicted to the characters that be having sex with the women good. And you be wanting to watch their particular episodes. And then you start watching a man have sex with a woman. That's how it starts. You start watching the man have sex with the woman first, and then the devil is a law of averages. I don't need to get all y'all, just some of y'all. Some of y'all gonna start looking at that man and stop looking at the woman. Some of y'all gonna stop looking at that man, have sex with that woman, and you gonna want something more. Man, I gotta see somebody have sex with 5 women. And then, okay, a man can kind of be up in there too, and then now it's a whole fuck off. Everybody up in there having sex at the same time. And then the men start having sex with the men. Then you start getting this shit in your mind. Some people go very far with this porn stuff. Don't confuse me on a man's mind. I'm a man that dealt with sex addiction. Some of these dudes, they go a little bit far. I say when you have a body, when you introduce stuff to your body, be willing to weigh the cost. So it was some things I was not willing to do. I don't want to have sex with a woman from the back. I don't want to get used to that. Because if you get used to it and you like it, the body gonna be like, man, come on, dog. Just go ahead and ask her to go ahead and let me. Yeah, come on, man, that ain't gonna hurt bad after the first. You're gonna start convincing women to do that shit because you like it. And women that wouldn't even move in that light, they start doing it because they like you. And that's the key. And then you get them off. And they start liking that shit and they start introducing it to. All this shit be coming from porn, broski. And men be seeing that shit, they be like, well, I can add that to my, well, okay, I can add. Man, it take all the intimacy out of a man. Like, men are supposed to be intimate with their women. You're supposed to be able to be intimate with your woman and not feel weird. Porn introduces a whole bunch of weird shit because you want weird sex and weird shit from her. But some of these women just don't like to do. Y'all be introducing this shit and the woman be like, nope. I had a woman, man, says you talk to a man and he wanted her to pull them ball things up out of him. And she was like, nope, I'm not with that. And he was like, oh, okay. They gonna introduce it. The devil is very seductive. All of my friends that started doing coke, they started doing coke when they was messing with a woman that was doing coke. Man, she was doing coke, man, we was just getting freaky one night. I just couldn't keep up. You'll never keep up if that woman on coke. What is you talking about, homie? What does you mean? When you seen her do coke the first time, he was like, okay, sexually, this is about as far as I'm gonna be able to go. If she wanna keep going, she needs to find something else to do. That's what I'd said to myself. I can't keep up with you because you on coke. Coked out, man, I've seen a lot of things in my lifetime. And when I seen a woman do coke and the act that happened after, I was like, I can't deal with a woman like that. No. Too freaky for me. Freaky ass niggas. But anyways, yeah, man. But I got a healthy fear of God. I've seen people on drugs. I've seen people on crack. Healthy fear of God on drugs. Weed, I understand. A lot of heavy shit, pills and Percocets and blue. Man, I'm not doing none of that. No way. I don't even like taking pills that the doctor give me half the damn time. Because I want to be in control of my mind. I be feeling like, okay, if I talk to God, man, we can work our way through this. Where did the root of this problem begin? And I work my way. I don't give a damn if it take a year. I have to work my way through this thing. I have to work out where the poverty started in my family. Where did it come from? Where's the root? The root was my grandfathers, who were very hard-working men, worked themselves to death because they didn't take care of their health. They ain't work out, spent loads of time in the sun, ate terrible at lunch. You know that 9 to 5 life, man. You like your wife making you a lunch every day. She packing up everything she cooked last night. You eating that 3-4 times. Grandfather's checking out. So I got a healthy fear of God to get my health in check. I go to the doctor way more than a lot of dudes in my age. Something I go, ooh, 44, it'd be a lot of whoop. That's another fear of God men should have. If you waste your 20s and your 30s, you get the 40s and you getting them, oops, ooh. Man, my back just be locking up sometimes for no reason. You be like, woo, ooh, ooh. And it be just a reminder that you old real quick. Remember, you ain't getting no younger. You 20 and 30-year-olds, y'all better get to work. Get your lazy ass to work. Go find something to do. Football is not the only thing to do. Basketball is not the only thing to do. Y'all ass need to learn how to do something right now. Go find something productive. Go work a different muscle. Football is cool and all, but you need to find a way to take care of yourself. Take care of a family one day. You need to learn how to do that young. Learning skills. Like, especially when you stay at your mama's house for free, man, it ain't gonna be nothing like it. And then you get in your 40s and you got a skill. And you're not looking like these people that have been wrestling with God their whole damn life. Oh, I want to be for the streets. I'm 30% God, 70% for the streets. It don't work that way. You got to be about God's business, man. God's business is about approving yourself and accomplishing all the things that you had a contract with God with in the beginning, before you even came down here. You was a soul up there talking about, I want to help. I want to do that. That was you. Yes, God, yes. You didn't have none of this voice. You probably sound like a kid to God. You, please, I want to go do that. And then you get down here, and you done got punched in the face a couple times. You, oh man, I don't want to work no more. I don't want to do nothing. God is so cruel. God is cruel. God is cruel, right? Look, man, some things are just going to happen to you. And it's just part of the game. You just got to keep going. You got to fight through things. Your mission is your mission. I tell my wife this all the time. My birth date was March 19th, 1980. And I was born at 10:54 p.m. I said, I ain't see you there. God was the only person knew. The doctor didn't know when I was coming. My mama didn't know. My daddy didn't know. Nobody knew. It was me and that covenant with God. That was it. Before I came to this earth, if anybody put some eyes on me, me and God had a covenant. And my fear is that I won't make it to the end, and I have done what is successful enough to not do this shit again. I want to go to the next level. I want to go to the king level. Bring me back in my next life as a king. I might not get it in this lifetime, but I'm going to get it. That be my plan. I don't deviate from that. Anything that take me away from that plan, I can't even worry about it. It's going to be a time they're going to throw people in jail for worshiping Jesus Christ. You're going to have to go to jail and change souls. You're going to have to prove to them that Jesus is in you. and that you can change souls, you're going to have to dance and praise where the fuck you at. That's what you're going to have to do. And I can't be raising people or telling people or trying to teach people that don't want to listen. If I tell you a slap's coming, and you say, ain't no slap coming, and then a slap come 8 years from now, and now you get slapped real hard, that's your fault for not paying attention to when I told you, hey, these people about to slap you real hard. They about to slap you real hard. You ain't gonna never, a lot of people ain't gonna recover from this slap. That's what I keep telling people in America. A lot of people will not be prepared. They will not have no armor of God. They will looking at cars and looking at people towing shit away and losing their house. They'll be like, oh my God, God took everything. No, it was the creditors. It was the people that gave you them loans. They did it. It was not God. God had nothing to do with the foolish ass shit them people was doing. They gave you them loans, them exorbitant rates. It was them. And you gonna be like, God, why did you do this to me? And God gonna be like, man, don't worry about none of that stuff. We're gonna replace all that in a couple of years. And you don't even believe that shit. You be like, no. You don't even believe. When people believe until shit hit the fan. In my marriage, shit hit the fan so early, we didn't have no chance to adjust. I got married a year later. COVID happened. Well, hold on now. My uncle died January 7th. Then Kobe died, and then COVID. And then both my grandmothers died within that time. Both of them. Boom, boom. Lost both all that wisdom, gone within a year. Boom. Now we got family infighting. We got all type. It's total chaos in my family now. Total chaos. Everything that's been going on since 2020. And I keep looking at all these people and I'm like, man, something great about to happen. It's a lot of salvation about to be extended. And you're going to need to be in good favor for this. And I keep trying to tell these people, man, get in good favor with God, man. Please, please. Some people, man, you're going to be right next to them. And they're going to catch fire. Boom. And they're going to be on the next level. It's going to be just like this. Boom. All these people that have been doing this work. And you've been standing on side of them, watching them do this work. And you ain't, hey, man, why you doing this work? Why you ain't ask no questions. And then it's gonna be like, boom, and that person gonna be gone. You be like, damn, they the head of what? Yeah, you was just a manager over a section. Now you the head of the company. What? It's gonna be just like that. You're gonna be standing next to them people. And then in an instant, them people gonna have brand new friends. That wanna put them on, that wanna do everything to help them out. They gonna be right there. Boom, 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 boom. And that person gonna be so high, you ain't gonna be able to get on the phone with them no more. You gonna be like, what the hell happened? God say, get in preparation. He who get in preparation for me will get thee. And I made that up. Get in preparation, man. Get a healthy fear of God that if I don't get this shit right, I'm just gonna have to reincarnate and do it back again. And if I commit suicide, I'm gonna have to do it back again in worse conditions. Because you're gonna come back into some old Terminator 2 type times. You'll be like, God damn, now I gotta catch up. Get it together right now. People talking about, man, how bad AI gonna be? Go watch Terminator 2 and come back and holler at your boy. But you don't want to come back and be a baby in them times. Get this shit together right now, man. Figure it out. These people in this time, they're going to get to see Jesus. All this talk, man, Jesus ain't even real, man. Y'all lying, man, talking about Jesus Messiah. Watch when people see Jesus and they bow down and start kissing people's feet. Watch. Watch when God wake up his people and people have to apologize. Watch. Watch, watch, watch. And then people gonna get a healthy fear of God that, oh my God, we've been treating these people like niggas all this time. They really ain't been niggas. Oh my God. They gonna have a healthy fear of God that, oh my God, I gotta start apologizing to people. Let me start washing feet. Let me start, watch. Watch, watch, watch. People that will live long enough that are not deceived by the Antichrist, go back to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and chapter 3. I read that down there in one of my Bible studies. Go back and read it. Y'all, a lot of y'all gonna be deceived because people gonna be snapping their fingers and it's gonna be electricity coming out their hand. You be like, oh, God. And then God gonna rock the earth, and then them same people that you thought was God gonna fall in the hole with you. I just went through a hurricane. Everybody that was rich didn't feel rich when them lights went off because everybody's house was hot. The rich people didn't even feel rich no more. The rich areas didn't have no lights, just like the poor ones. And everybody was equal in that moment. Everybody food had went bad. All my food in the refrigerator bad, gone. Whew. Talk about a fart in the wind. Imagine you were sitting up high and looking down low, and you didn't get no generator, and all your meat went bad because there wasn't no ice in the city. It wasn't no ice. You could go to the store. They was like 2-bag minimum, and the machines making the bags 30 minutes at a time. That's how the stores were. People got a healthy fear of God in this time. People were dying at the gas station because they was getting shot because they wouldn't let somebody in line. Things were happening. That was a very small time. Remember, this only happened over a course of a week. Things can get out of control very fast, and then you start believing in God again. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's what you start hearing out of people's mouths. Now we got to pray. Hey man, I've probably been on here too long, but when I talk about fear of God, I wanted to make it very, very, very clear. Very, very, very clear of what the fear of God is. Like you keep doing something in your soul, and your soul like, man, this one here old, dog. It's a lot of people that don't even like to apologize. I be seeing this out of a lot of the older generation. Not like my mama, but the grandmother's generation. And now it's becoming the mama generation, because my mama probably would have been about 62 or 63. That generation, they do not apologize for nothing. A lot of younger women, they get this don't apologize thing. All of them that don't be apologizing usually be having fibroids. Have a study on it the next day. Let's have a study. Fibroids and not apologizing. Holding on to them apologies. Holding on them cancers. That shit deform cancer and all that stuff in your body. Don't apologize. All them kids come to you and tell you about, man, look, you didn't do a great job in these particular areas of parenting. And you be like, well, I did the best job I could. And you out here making me feel bad. And they start crying, try to guilt you back into being on their side. When really all they could have just said is, I really didn't know what I was doing. I apologize. I love y'all. I did the best that I could do, but I really just didn't know what I was doing. Man, most kids accept that and run off and be great. But these kids be bound because they don't get these apologies from their mom and dad. They be like, man, why don't they just apologize so I can get past the hurt? Some of y'all just gonna have to get past it. Like, okay, they got you here. They got you back in the game. They got you back into the game of life. You asked to come back down here. Before you came out your mama coochie, you and God was in clear conversation about what you needed to do when you got here. God was like, I'm gonna bake you up in here for 9 months. But remember, no matter what these people say at the end, it's me and you. I don't care what these people say to you. I don't care nothing about these earthbounds. What I said to you is all that matters. I tell my wife I was born on March 19th, 1980 at 10:58 p.m. Nobody else was there. When I was up in that coochie and came out, nobody knew. The only time that was known was when people looked at the clock and say, God said this young man was born at 10:54 p.m. And then at that point, it was time for me to get to work, collecting information for the mission. Your parents is your first version of the information. So if they got lack of information, you're going to start behind in the game. If you got deformities, you're going to start behind in the game, but God gives account for deformities. So they still be working in the image. You might be deformed to them, but to me, you got a mission to change people's minds on this. Hey man, I want y'all to get serious about this fear of God thing, because it's a lot of people just be outside giving their bodies away willy-nilly. Giving it away willy-nilly. And I'm not like, look man, I was there with you. I was in the trenches. Trenches. So I ain't even judging you. I'm just saying it's a better life on the other side. That's all I'm saying. I don't care what them people say about you. What God say? What God say? And the fear of God that you should have is that, man, if I listen to these people and I don't listen to God, I'm going to think less of myself. I'm not going to like my hair. I had to deal with a woman who loved her hair. You want to lock that thing up? I'm happy that you're going to do it. I love that you love your hair because eventually we're going to have to teach my daughter to love her hair. Man, this hair that you got, man, look here. This hair you got, it's going to last. It ain't gonna get no lice. It ain't gonna get none of that. You can make it through American harsh summers. You can make it through Egyptian harsh summers with that hair. And we got a bunch of ladies out here that do not believe that their hair is premium grade. Premium grade. Don't believe it. Couldn't believe it if you told them. Could not believe it if you told them. So we run away that the identity that God give us. Run, 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 run. And you get so far that you think that the identity of looking like somebody else is the standard. When God sets the standard, not man. Remember, black people, at one time, somebody agreed in their mind that black people was just like property. Like a tractor and a black man was the property. I own both of you. You are not able to own anybody in God's place. Nobody. You are not allowed to own or have dominion. You get like dominion over somebody, mean you're a good shepherd of. You're not able to own. You own horses and cattle and products. You don't own people. But we start in our minds living by a man's law and start thinking that that was okay. Well, you know, get off the horse and buggy, ride grandmama. Get off the horse and buggy, ride a husband. That's man's law. This ain't got nothing to do with God. That's what a man decided, and a man said that it was true. We don't live by that. While we on this earth, we abide by. But we still walking on God's calendar. That's what we doing. We got a healthy fear of God. It's not a fear like, oh man, I'm so scared to go outside and face the world. Man, look here, I got a healthy fear of God. I'm fearless in this. You got to be. It's your own personal mission. You got it. Some people, your only thing that you're supposed to do here was be a great mother, be a great father, be a great auntie. Some people, that's their only mission. I mean, you just came here to do this one thing one time. God said, I need you to be an auntie because this kid probably not gonna get adequate love from their parents. So you're gonna be auntie and you're gonna be a healthy part of this child life. And you don't even know that your mission maybe seems small, but that love that you gave that child, man, forced them to see the good side. And they didn't choose the side of their parents. They said, I'm gonna choose to be like my auntie. And they start, rising up and they get to help people. Like it be stuff like that, man. Up out of here, man. I done talked to y'all long enough, man. I just hope that I nail this into y'all head what I was trying to get through. Like you got to have a healthy fear of God. No fear. We in preparation of. We in preparation of God's blessing. We are in preparation. We don't get scared. We get prepared. If calamity coming, we gonna stack it up. We gonna stack up cans. We gonna stack up MREs. We gonna stack up provisions. We not gonna get scared. All these other people gonna be unprepared. I know how to cook meals for under $5. I'm gonna start doing that. I'm probably gonna do it on another page, man, where I just teach people meals that you can cook under $20. And you can just get them up real quick. You're gonna have to learn how to cook. Just being in preparation, man. It ain't no fear in preparation. People that know martial arts, they don't be sitting there scared. When you come up with that old, they be sitting there like, okay, so If I get out that arm and I snap him back right there, he gonna have a healthy fear of God, who I am, and then he just gonna release that muscle, and he release that muscle, I'm gonna pop him in there. They be sitting there thinking like that. They don't be like, they ain't on that raw rush. They like, okay, if you get within this little old space right here, I'm gonna break you down to the lowest common denominator. That's how they think. That's how a man gets in preparation. I ain't scared of these jokers outside with all these motherfucking guns. They be like, man, I got 1,000,000 guns. What if God burn your house down? Burn your house down. No guns. Now you got to get outside and box. And you didn't learn how to box. Now you outside getting worked in the streets.